Hey, Tita, how are you today?
I am amazing and excellent.
That is good. It is good to bask in your presence
Thank
today.
you.
I am happy to have this opportunity to interview today. I know that you're an entrepreneur, you are
Yes,
an artist, fashion designer, you are a stylist, you are a nail tech, the list goes on. You're also a mother,
yes,
so you balance many hats.
yes.
So, getting right into it, can you tell us how you got started with your artistic journey?
My artistic journey started as a child. I always colored and doodled. I always made like stick figures with long hair, like long spinning doodles all over the paper. And
Okay.
that's what I would do. I would just make the hair cover the entire paper. And that's how I started like with art.
Okay, wow, that's amazing.
hmm
I like that. I like that. So, what inspires your art, and how do you decide on themes or subjects?
Emotion. My
Emotions.
honest opinion is emotion. If I'm feeling very angry and I have no way or outlet to get it out, I'll paint something to get it off of me or out of me and on something else. So I put my energy into whatever I'm making my emotions.
Okay, and that's a good thing, especially with today, how people
Yeah,
they may need something like that for like a
right.
therapeutic
It
time
is.
to themselves. So that's good that you can do something like that.
hmm
How do you approach creating nail art, and what is your process like?
Okay, so with nail art, as you can remember many years ago, some of y'all younger than me, but many years ago, children couldn't get their nails done. So I would go to the mall to try to get my nails done all the time, and they would tell us no, can't do nails. And so I would
Wow.
go and sit at the mall and watch them do nails and watch them do the little line art and the little dot arts. And then like when I would go home, I would say, okay, it's different. I would start making shapes on the nails, and that's when I started creating characters on the nails. And I was like, as long as I can make a shape out of it, I can make whatever character or whatever design by using these shapes. And I also use that same tactic to paint on canvas and clothes and stuff too.
Wow. So it seems like you were able to learn by example,
Yes.
just from what's in front of you and just
hmm
take it from there to apply it
Yeah.
to that.
Self-taught. Yep.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Now, can you share some of your favorite nail art designs and the stories behind them?
Okay. I did Bugs Bunny, and I did those on some press-on nails during COVID, and I loved them. Like those were one of my favorite. And then
Okay.
Gucci, I did a Gucci set before. Those was press-on too. I find that when I can take my time and it's not an actual person, I can really perfect the craft and it's not moved. The subject is not moving. So the Gucci and the Bugs Bunny, those were two of my favorites. Yeah.
Okay. So it seems like when you're in quiet mode, that's when you really
I
can
can
get
zoom
into your.
in. Yeah,
Okay,
get in
I
my
like that.
zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Now, going over into your crafting and doing some of your epoxy, how did you become interested in working with epoxy, and what kinds of projects do you create?
Okay. Well, epoxy, I just fell into that. So I don't watch TV. So what I did was I had started going on YouTube and I kept seeing epoxy. And I was like, what is this stuff? And at first thought, I thought it was going to be easy because anything that involves art, I be feeling like I could just do it and it'd be easy for me. But when I started that, that was hard. So when I got into it, it was hard. It was hard as I don't know what because
Wow.
it's more difficult than what people think. And when I realized that I couldn't control it, I was like, oh, it's controlling me. I can't control it. It drew me to it even more because I love the unknown. Because you don't know how it's gonna turn out in the end. And
Okay.
most of the time when it levels out, it's amazing. So that's one
Wow.
of my favorite things. That's still one of the skills that I'm still trying to master is epoxy.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So really, it seems like you have to put yourself like into full focus mentally, so that you can know how to train yourself to do epoxy.
hmm
Okay, I do like that. Now, what challenges do you face when working with epoxy, and how do you overcome them?
Okay. So with epoxy, a lot of mistakes happen. And with epoxy, it's unforgiving. So once it's dry, a level of it is dry, it's there.
That's
So
it.
like if a fly or a fruit fly
Okay.
stick on it, it's in there. So in order to fix it, you have to wait 7 hours for that layer to dry, and then you will have to go back and sand. If a fly gets stuck in it, you're gonna have to sand that out. And then you're
Wow.
gonna have to do the entire leveling over again. So let's say you got something about this big and a fly gets in it, you're gonna have to drill that part out, and then you're gonna have to put epoxy over the entire thing over again.
Okay. Wow. So that is very time
It
consuming, and
is.
that requires a lot of patience. So
Yes,
it's
it
good that you do
does.
have that patience for that, because I don't know if I could sit through something like, it's very tedious is what
Yes.
I'm saying. Wow. Okay. So can you walk us through the steps of creating an epoxy piece from concept to completion?
Okay, so the first thing, like, okay, I'll say if somebody wanted a countertop done, the first thing you want to do is ask them what colors they want and what images have they seen that they like, and you ask them to send me what you want. So that way, mentally, you can know if you can do that for them. Because the
Okay.
worst thing to do is to lie to someone and say, "Oh, I can do this," and then you can't come through. And I
Right.
would hate to do that. I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
So once they send me the image of what they want it to look like, then I process it mentally, and then I get all of my everything that I need, all the items I need to complete the challenge done. Basically, you get all of the protection. So you need plastic to protect. You need a certain tape to protect. It's a long process with it. You need
Okay.
a sander.
Okay.
You need measuring cups. You need spatulas to stir. You actually need a heavy duty spinner, like frother, but for paints and stuff. You
Okay.
need that. You need a blowtorch, and you need a heat
Wow.
gun, and you need time because it's gonna take a lot of time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So time isn't really the word. Okay. This sounds like it's I'm assuming a couple of days.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
I say if someone wants it done, you're gonna need at least I would say a healthy 2 weeks.
Okay.
So that way you're not giving them a false sense of I can get it done in 2 days, because you cannot. The
Okay.
first day is basically prepping.
Gotcha.
The
Okay.
second day is sanding, filling in any lumps, holes, or cracks that need to be filled in. The next day is painting or putting the design down. Then you have to let that dry. Then the next day you come in and you mix up your epoxy and you lay it.
Wow.
That's the first layer of epoxy.
Okay.
After the first layer, you have to sand that layer of epoxy. Because if any bubbles or anything got stuck, then you got to get them out. And then you wipe that clean with alcohol. And then the last day is the final layer of epoxy.
Wow. Okay. So I guess after that, you would rest after that day. You got to give yourself some time
Yeah,
in
because
between.
you gonna have muscles. You gonna be tired.
Wow. I can only
Yeah.
imagine. I really can. Okay. Well, after going through the process of epoxy and your crafting, and it's just very inspiring when you explain it. Now going into makeup and beauty. As a
Hmm.
makeup artist, what are some of your go-to looks and styles?
I feel the more natural you can be to pull out your natural beauty, the better and the more comfortable. Because a lot of times, if you go over your limit of looking beautiful, you'll if somebody says something to you, it's gonna hurt your feelings. Because
Okay,
a lot
that's
of the
true.
times
That's
when you
true.
go over that person's comfort level, somebody gonna tell them you look like you casket sharp, and that's gonna
Mm,
destroy their thoughts of makeup. And makeup is not to disguise anything; it's to enhance and make you
okay.
feel more beautiful with what you already have.
Okay.
So a natural look, and then I do like a Barbie look,
Okay.
like a totally transformation look. I do like that red lip.
Okay.
Everybody need a good red lip
Good go-to red
now.
lip.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Okay.
and I do like the lip liner, old school. What I got on now is real complimenting to you. So if you don't do much, a simple eye with brows and lip gloss, you be good.
Okay. So evidently, just not overpowering that look,
Yeah, don't
just bringing out
overpower
that.
your own features. Don't
Yeah.
add stuff that is not supposed to be there, because that's what will make you look casket sharp.
Okay. Okay. I
Yeah,
like how you explain that. That's good to know. Now, how do you stay updated with the latest trends in makeup and beauty?
I don't.
Okay. So you just, it seems like you kind of flow with yours, because I know you have
Yeah.
your own thought process with things.
Yeah, a
Okay.
lot of the time, whatever I'm feeling, that's how I'm gonna dress. If I feel bubbly and like happy, I'll wear stuff that's sheer or that has big structure or flowy or
Okay.
big. It's big. And then if I'm feeling reserved or I'm mad, I wear black. I wear darker colors.
Okay.
It just depends on my mood. And I don't go with the trends, because a lot of the trends I don't agree with, or I already been there and done that. It's just I've already did it. They're catching up to it.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's really me recycling stuff and just moving with what I like. I don't
Okay,
care about the next person.
just your personal preference.
Yeah.
I do like that. And as you said, it just sets a tone for your day,
Mhm.
depending on how you feel.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Now, can you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their makeup skills?
Practice. Practice makes perfect. And even if you go to the drugstore and just get some quick little stuff, try to match your own, or you can go to MAC somewhere and get your skin matched and just practice on yourself. Watch YouTube videos. I have some videos out there. Go check them out. Yeah, just practice little stuff, and then if you practice it enough, when you do start to do it and you getting ready, it'll be quick, like because you've been doing it almost every other day, or you've been doing it every weekend on
Right,
yourself.
right.
So when you're moving quick, it's like boom, how you get dressed so quick, how you get your makeup, because I've been doing it, I've been practicing, and it gets better and better over time.
Okay, I like how
Yeah.
you explain it, and at least you explain it to where it's very simple.
Yeah.
As far as being self-taught, a lot of people try to go into courses and just drown their minds out with
Yeah, you
classes,
can't
and
do it like Satisha.
yeah,
Satisha been doing this for 7 years.
right,
She
right,
know what she doing.
uh huh,
You don't, and that's why I tell people it's a process to get to anything.
that's
You
true.
have to go through the thing to get to the thing. I always say that because if not, you're not gonna be able to do it like Shartisha.
That's true. That
Yeah.
is true. Okay, well, Shartisha, if you did hear that, you heard it firsthand. Okay. Okay, now of course you are an influencer on social media. I know it's a lot that you do on social media from your art, or if it's a matter of just certain clips that you have out there now.
Mhm.
So, what role does social media play in your career, and how do you use it to connect with your audience?
So social media for me is an outlet as well as art. It really helps me be myself. Like I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of people that I hang with. I don't have a lot of people that I socialize with. I don't have like a tribe. I have people, but I don't have a tribe. And so on social media, it gives me a chance to let stuff off my chest to where can't connect with me on that.
Right, I like
But if
that.
I speak out and I just say, today I stumped my toe. It's hurt. It's sore. Do anybody know how I can get rid of this soreness? Then somebody will come on and be like, yeah, I soak it in Epsom salt. And then I'm like, me and that person made a connection off of a sore toe.
Okay,
It helps me connect with people through anything, really. Like,
okay,
share my life and help people, and people help me at the same time.
okay. Spending
Now,
your time inspiring. I do
yeah.
like that. Now, how do you balance showcasing your art and sharing personal experiences as an influencer?
Okay, so balancing it, it's a lot of things that I will share with people and I don't mind sharing it, but like certain personal things I will keep to myself because I feel like it's nobody's business. And when I'm ready to share it, I will. So it's just I pick and choose on what calls me to do it. Like a lot of times with me, I feel a pressure or I hear a voice that'll say that or share that, and then I'm like I don't want to, and then if it keeps looping, I'm like okay, I know whose voice this is, let me
Okay,
go on and put this out. Or either it'll be a confirmation thing to where I thought of something, I don't say anything, and then somebody will come up to me and they'll say the same exact thing, and I'm like okay, that's confirmation, let me go ahead and share that.
okay.
So that's how I balance out what to share and what not to share, because some stuff they just don't need to know. It's none of their business.
I do agree. So anything that's thought provoking that you feel like could help your audience when you're on
Yeah.
social media, just the purpose for that day, whatever that you
Hmm.
feel like they could possibly be having questions about what they're going through, you can feed them with that information
Right.
basically. Okay.
Right.
Now, what has been the most rewarding part of being an influencer?
For me, it just helps me to be more closer to myself. Like it helps me not feel lonely. Because sometimes when you do art, like I said, it could be a gift and a curse, and you feel lonely because you feel like nobody gets you. Like you'll have friends, but you can't tell them everything. You'll have certain people you
Mm,
tell certain stuff, but you can't tell them this because a lot of people ain't been through everything that you've been through. So a lot of the times with me too, if you've never been through it, I'm not gonna ask you the question.
right, that's true.
So with exposing it and telling people online, I know some people have been through that, and it gives me a direct contact to them to even reach out to them and ask them like, "Hey, how you get through the blah 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 or whatever," or to get it off of me and out of me, out into the open. It makes it clears it up for me. like internally. It'll clear it up for me. So now I'm not harboring it,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. It seems like social media can be therapeutic,
Yeah,
despite what's put out there in society these days. Like your way of connecting with others, being able to show them a side of yourself
exactly.
that they can relate to.
Hmm.
Now, going over into thrifting and fashion,
Hmm.
how did you get into thrifting and what do you enjoy most about it?
Okay. With thrifting, my baby. With thrifting, it like since I was younger, I always like digging in clothes. Like in our house when I was a kid, it was always a room that was full of just clothes, and I would just go lay in there. And like my daughter does it now, and I never like she
Wow.
never seen me do it. One day she was just in the laundry room, just laying in the clothes, and I was like, "Look at Cedar!" Like it's like she knew, but I've always loved clothes, and like a lot of the time, people will say it's junk, or like a lot of people don't realize that thrifting is not something that's nasty, or they be like,
Yeah,
"Why you want to wear somebody's old clothes?" But like, it's not that for me because when I put it on, it's not their old clothes. This is a new outfit for me. Like,
exactly.
and this is how I'm expressing myself. And most of the time, you find things that nobody will ever have. Like, you find antiques, you find labels, you find stuff for the low that people will never see again. And you ain't got to worry about nobody else having on your outfit. So, thrifting, that's my boo boo.
Oh,
Like, and
you
and
have
I
stressed that.
started working at Goodwill when I lived in California, and I was trying to find a way to make money. So I applied for a job to work at Goodwill, and I lied on the application. And then when I went in for the interview, I told the lady that was the hiring manager, I told her I was a professional thrifter. And I was like, I do this for a living. And I said, the whole entire outfit I have on today is thrifted. And when she looked at me up and down, honey, and she was like, she hired me on the spot. And
Wow.
like what I did for them was not fashion wise or whatever, but I made good money thrifting and then flipping it on eBay.
Wow.
So that's where it's at.
That's amazing. It seems like you were able to walk in and explain to them how you can revision those clothes. That's
Yeah.
something a lot of people they don't have a trait of.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Now, can you share some of your favorite styling tips or tricks?
Okay. So with styling, I think the main thing is to have key pieces in your wardrobe. And I have a book too that shows my tips and stuff on styling. So you need a pair of jeans that not just that fits well, not just that you like the color, but you're in love with. Like you could wear these jeans every single day if you could or if you wanted to. So
Okay.
you need a pair of jeans that you're in love with. Secondly, you need some shirts that fit you well. They could be white, they could be black, but a nice fitted shirt. And you need a shoe that could be casual, sporty, or dressy if you changed up the top half of your body. And I feel like some nice glasses or shades. Like you can walk in a room and look like you worth $1 million if everything you're in love with everything. And it's also your confidence and how you feel about those clothes.
Amen. I do agree with that.
Because you could wear a trash bag and you could be the star of the show if that confidence on point.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
That's a snap right there. I do agree with you on that. Okay, so how do you incorporate your thrifting finds into your style or art?
I incorporated it every single day. Mostly everything that I wear most of the time is thrifted. Like my whole wardrobe sometimes consists of mainly thrift stuff. Today I don't have on anything thrifted, but most of my days I have on something that is thrifted. And how I incorporate thrifting with artwork is sometimes when I go into the thrift stores, they have canvases that are either they already have a picture on them or they have a nice frame. And I take those pictures that are really cheap and I paint over top of them. Or either I'll take my paint markers and I'll add stuff into the picture to make it a whole nother picture that's mine.
I like that.
So, like, if somebody had pictures in their house that are old or people that they don't even know, you could take that and change it into a whole new art piece. And now you got a new art piece, and it was what you already had.
Wow. Okay. So, like you said earlier, it's like you're revising things, but just
Yeah, you're
recycling
recycling,
something. And
upcycling, and
yeah.
saving money.
Okay. I like that. I really do. Because a lot of people, they don't consider that. In their mind, it's like, let's just throw it away.
Yeah, let's go.
But
Just
you
give it to Goodwill so I can get it.
just give it to you for new vision.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, getting over into the styling and design, I know, of course, you elaborated on a lot with that subject, but how would you describe your personal style and how does it influence your work?
Okay, my personal style is free. I'm like a free spirit, free person. I love different culture stuff. Like I like Mexican stuff. I like the biker. I like casual. I like upscale, luxury looking stuff. I wear labels. I wear stuff that no label. I'll make my own stuff. If I see something and I like it, I'll make my own outfit from it. I like to make stuff from nowhere. So it's inspired by life. Everything that I can visually see, it could become a piece of clothes for me.
Okay, so it seems like when you go through, if it's traveling, if it's maybe
Yeah, it inspires
passing someone
me.
on the street or whatever the
Hmm.
case may be, then that inspires you to do
Yes,
that. I
yes.
like how you implement that. I really do. Now, what is your process for designing a new look or outfit, whether for yourself or for others?
Okay, for myself, making a new outfit could come from if I like the way a pair of pants fit. So with me, a tip is if I wear something baggy on top, my shirt is gonna be fitted. Cause
Okay,
I like so if I wear something with sleeves, my bottom half will be short. So I like to show some, cover some. That's my
okay,
rule.
gotcha.
And for other people, if I were picking an outfit for them, first I need to know how they are, like their personality. I need to know what makes them uncomfortable. I need to see your body type. I need to know what colors are you drawn to naturally. And then I need to know what colors look good on your skin.
Okay.
So a lot of things factor into how I would dress someone.
So really just understanding that person's profile, what would make
Right.
them feel comfortable, but then
Hmm.
stand out when you style them.
Right.
Okay, I do like that. Now, how do you stay inspired and creative in your fashion and styling projects?
I stay I stay inspired by living. I stay inspired by keeping my headspace clear of negativity. I stay inspired by still taking trips, going out, experiencing new people, seeing stuff I never seen before. I like the unknown. Like the unknown, I'm attracted to the unknown because I feel
Mm,
like I've already experienced a lot where I'm from. So let me go over here and see what they had to offer or what fabrics they had. So getting a refresher, going somewhere new, experiencing something new, that inspires me. Being around someone I never met before and having a conversation, that inspires me. Going to Walmart and seeing somebody dressed in different shades of pink and telling them they look cute and then they doing that little smile, that inspires me. I
right,
love stuff
right.
like that.
Okay, okay. It seems like every day for you is just, it's different. No day is the same day.
Right.
Going over into your personal insights and your future plans, how do you manage your time and stay organized with so many different creative pursuits?
I have to write it out because if I don't write it out, I will be all over the place. So most of the time, my work comes from Facebook. A lot of the time, or word of mouth.
Okay,
So that's why, like sometimes I want to take a social media break, but I can't because that's where my funds come from.
okay.
A lot of my customers come from me posting a video. So that's why I said like with me, I could never be broke because as long as I can post something that I've
Uh-huh.
made, I will always be rich.
I agree.
So in abundance, in energy and creativity, it will always be there for me because as long as I can use these hands to make something, I'm gonna make some money.
I like that. And
Yeah.
it seems like it adds pressure too, because like you said, I mean, with your personal space, you want to take that sabbatical
Right.
sometimes, but then also you know that's where your money comes from.
Right.
So you have to combine the two. I like
Right.
that. Now, what are some of your future goals or projects that you're excited about?
I'm excited about I wanna own my own thrift store.
Wow. Okay, okay.
And
I can see you with that.
I want it to be I want it to be two-sided. Basically, I want it to be a place where people can go and get transformed and get a makeover. So, like if you come to this thrift store, you got somebody doing hair, you got somebody doing nails, you got somebody that's basically talking to you to figure out like what your likes and stuff are as far as clothes and fashion. And then you have somebody basically putting that all together and giving you you like a new person, you're getting a makeover. And I want it to be affordable so that way it doesn't scare people away. But
Okay.
I want you to get a bang for your buck.
Exactly.
So I want to find a way to like make thrifting easier, because a lot of the time people don't like it because they don't understand it.
Okay.
So if you come to my thrift store, you can thrift. You don't have to get your hair and nail done. You don't have to get a makeover. But if you just want to thrift, I'm going to wash my clothes, because a lot of thrift stores, they do not wash their
That
clothes.
is true.
I will wash them. I will have some stuff that's already styled. It's just going to be a different experience.
Okay, okay. I like that. And educating them through the process of that
Right,
experience too.
right.
I definitely love that. So in other words, you're saying this might happen, what, 2025? We're gonna aim for that.
Let's
Let's make that happen
go.
soon. Let's make that happen soon. Okay, how do you stay motivated and continue to find joy in your work?
I stay motivated because I feel like the people need me. Because a lot of the time I'll be like, I'll be like, forget these people. They don't support me. They
Right.
only, like I told somebody today, I was like, they don't support me. They only need stuff from me. That's not support. And he was like, it is support. I'm like, no, it's not. But I stay motivated because I feel like people they do need it.
Okay.
Like, and like most of the time, I'm like, if I don't do it, then where they gonna get it from?
Right,
Nobody
right.
else is doing what I'm doing, and I
Exactly.
have to big myself up sometimes, because who else doing it?
That's true.
They can try, but who else is gonna do it?
But
Who
they can't
else?
master
Ain't
it.
nobody. I'm gifted. I'm blessed. God has really blessed me with a lot of gifts, and I'm gonna talk my ish, because I don't know nobody else like her.
Okay. Well, listen. I mean, you stamped it. It's confidence. You stamped it on there. You said, listen, who else can do it better than you?
Right.
It's a lane for you. So I love that. I love that. Now, going over from the personal insights, your future plans,
Hmm.
let's kind of dive into the personal life and relationships. How do you balance your creative work with your personal life? We got a big smile. We got a big smile that says it all.
No, my personal life is just me. I don't let them go. No, my personal life is not. I don't really have a personal life. I'm not in a relationship with anybody but myself and God right now. I'm in a relationship with my family. I'm in a relationship with my kids. And I focus more on learning and growing, learning myself, knowing what I like and don't like. That's my main goals right now, is focusing on myself. And the closer I get to me, the closer I get to God. So that's my personal life.
Okay. I mean, hey, especially when you emphasize the closer you get to you, it's the closer you get to God.
Right.
I like that. That's all about purpose. Now, can you tell us a bit about your background and how it has influenced your artistic journey?
My background, I feel like I always was a wild child. Like I was always outside. I would take the hammer and just hit rocks outside. I was just wild. I was buck wild. I didn't listen. Like I was hard headed. And if I wanted to paint my wall, I wouldn't ask. I'll just get Q-tips and just put paint on the wall. I would just do stuff. And like my mama would go crazy, but I didn't care. And my daughter doing that to me right now. And it's like, what's wrong with you? But it's me. That's me.
Listen, it sounds like it's a shadow of
It
you at this
is.
point.
It's crazy. I'm like, girl, go sit down.
Right, right. Now, are there any personal experiences or milestones that have significantly influenced your art and creativity?
I feel like I went through a stage of being depressed for years. I was depressed. I was depressed before kids, then after kids too.
Hmm.
And I went through a stage of not being confident because I was with somebody that tore it down to the ground, and I allowed it because I didn't know my worth. And then I went through a stage of trying to build it back up, and then it got crushed again. And it's like all looping. But I feel like a lot of the times we don't realize, we don't crystallize situations in our life, and we leave them real negative. And that's
Right,
why it keeps looping, because you haven't learned yet that you don't put ill will on people because they didn't do you how they were supposed to do you.
right,
You say, I wish them the best, and they're going to find somebody great. I'm going to find somebody great. And that inspired me to do more self work and figure out what I do like, what I don't like, and I'm worthy of so much more than what I let that person make me think that I'm worthy of. And it all comes back to me. So I had to learn for myself what I was worth. And now we're good to go.
okay. I like that response. I like the fact that you went through life, but it's like you can place that into your work,
Right.
but then apply it to your everyday lessons.
Right.
So I like that. That can help someone else out there that's trying to find a balance with their
Right.
entrepreneurship and personal life. Now, how does your relationship status affect your work and creative process?
It doesn't because I don't have one. Okay,
Well,
but
let's shift it a little bit. So, let's say, how does your since you have children,
mhm.
how does it come into play where that can possibly maybe not interfere, but how does that also affect your creative process with that?
With my creative process with them around, at first it would irk me if I'm going through like an emotional thing and I'm painting and they come in and like, Mom, someone hit me. I'm like, don't say that. Don't just like go off. And then like the older I get, I realize it's not their fault. You can't do them like that. Like,
Okay.
no. And I had to like train myself. You can't do that just because you're going through something. You can't treat them like that because you're going through something.
Okay.
And it changed me. Like I had to start talking to myself about what I was doing on the outside, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
That makes a
And
lot of sense.
now I have to find time for my art on my own time or for work. Like, so when they're in school, you do your artwork then. And then when they get out, you have to focus on that in order for them not to interrupt you when you're doing what you're doing. So
Okay.
basically with them, I square them away. That way, when I'm doing what I need to do, they don't interfere, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. So finding that balance to prioritize and manage that time with your
Right,
children, but then also realizing, hey, mother has to come first too. She
right,
has her goals that she has to accomplish. And it's good they can see you doing that too, because it
right.
also inspires them in the process. So I like that. Now, do you feel as though your personal relationships, such as from maybe family, from it can be friends,
Mhm.
just people that you may come in contact with on social media, do they inspire or inform your art and designs in any way?
Yes. A lot of the time, if somebody comments or they say, "Could you do this again?" or "Could you slow this down?" or "Could you make something with blah blah blah?" Like if I see it and I like it, I go crazy. Like I go in and I tackle that thing because I'll shout them out. I have no problem. I love shouting people out. I'll
Okay.
be like, "Such and such inspired this," like, and I love doing it. I love doing stuff I like to do. Some stuff I don't like to do it. Like
Okay.
somebody will come to me and they be like, "Can you make me this blah blah blah?" And I'm like, "I don't want to do it, but I got to do it."
Okay.
But I don't like to do it, so it's like yin and yang. Like some stuff you gonna love, some stuff you don't care to do. If you done did a lot of times, it really don't matter. But I love new stuff that I've never seen or done, and they get it to me, and I be like, "Yes,
Okay.
I love this kind of stuff."
I can tell that's what gets you excited. It seems like it
Hmm.
gets your blood flowing. So I like that. Now, when it comes to your personal hobbies, how do you manage to find the time for those interests outside of your work?
I just it's mainly scheduling, like scheduling time. I like to shop, so scheduling time to shop, scheduling time to work out. I started back working out, so it's mainly scheduling and making time, creating time for what you need to do. Because if you don't, then you're not gonna do it.
Okay.
So it's basically a balancing act, a juggling act.
Okay. Gotcha. So basically, just making sure, as you said, not only juggling, but then also just making sure it's something that is essential to your mental
Right.
health and your emotional
Yes.
health well being.
Because if it's not going to benefit, like I've gotten to the age to now, if something is not benefiting me, then I'm not going to do it. Like unless I want to or I don't have anything else to do, if it's not benefiting me in some type of way, I'm not
Right.
going to do it. I'm not going to show up. I'm not going to be there. I'm
Okay.
sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Okay. Well, listen, I had to agree with you on that. I definitely have to agree with you on that. So I like that. Now, what advice would you give to aspiring artists or creators who want to pursue a similar path?
I feel like you got to stay passionate. You have to stay. If you have a schedule or like a plan, stick to your plan and don't let any distractions get in the way of your plan. You have to stay to your zone, stay in your own lane, into your own light, and just don't let distractions get in the way.
Okay. Well, there we have it. Well, Tita Myers, this has been lovely. It has been wonderful interviewing you today, getting into your personal business as well as your
Mm-hmm.
businesses.
Yes.